Yeah.
There we go. Chapter 1 is about, isn't that Marta? Was it Marta, the business contract teacher? And she was talking about engaging her students who really weren't interested in contract law, which would be a tough sell. But she had a mostly Hispanic population, right? And so she used Tejano music to pull them in and look at music contracts. So that's what she talked about here. And we talked about finding something they care about. And that's what the majority of the 3 chapters about, are concepts about that. So what is disengagement? We talked about just someone who's totally divested from what's going on. What is their motivation? And we talked about what comprehension is, the 2 things you need to do before you read. Set a purpose, activate previous knowledge. And sometimes, too often, set a purpose is because you told me so. That's not a good purpose. Kayla's website doesn't look like that because I told her to do it. She cares, looks like that. You guys are all excelling in a really great way. Joe's making magic. His phone and front, what's that thing called? Keynote. Yeah, we need to look more about that. We'll talk about that. He's got his phone flipping his Keynote pages so he could sit in the classroom and the page flips from his phone. Awesome. All right. The term of literacy being flexible. Literacy has to do with reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So that's important because the media changes all the time. So reading and writing anymore. Before, if you wrote, when I was a kid, I just started that out. If you typed something on white paper, wow, you went to a lot of trouble. I mean, because we actually had like typewriters. Okay? If you don't give me a multimedia web page, I'm disappointed now. So literacy has changed. And if you're going to make a point, and the whole idea is conveying ideas in literacy, good, effective writing. And that means you're going to have to use the media that's available. And that's one thing that we're doing right now with your portfolios. Okay, so that's why the term for literacy is flexible. And that might show that there's a ton of people who are less literate. And then the whole idea of technology and media not being part of literacy is just not going to work. And when we play our little trivia game, we're going to see how that works too. Connections between 80% of middle school students below in reading and achievement gaps with literacy and relevant instruction. And we talk about that just being adolescents really caring. Because isn't 8th grade the year that make you do the Constitution thing? Isn't that the year you have to pass the Constitution? Can you think of a year in school you would care less about that than 8th grade? That's difficult. Yeah. Okay. So, and what we can do now is I'll shoot a video for this, and then we'll cut it and we'll post it, okay? Okay, so the Case 1 study was about Marta, and what she did was talk about use something that the kids cared about, and as soon as you do that, we'll talk about this. Remember the fox that popped its head out of the hole in the Edutopia brain research? Reticulating activating system. The ears go up. What just happened? Because your brain's processing billions of bits of information. It's stuffy in here, I'm tired, I'm hungry, that granola bar was really dry. I mean, all those things are going through your head. Your reticulating activating system decides what you're going to attend to. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about later after this, but you connect that with the chapter because it was easy. Find something that they care about. She found the contract law, which is, it's a pretty good idea. And the idea was effective because they cared. It's so easy. The first 3 chapters, make them care. And even if the content is really boring, give them something cool to make or a cool game to play. That way you'll get that reticulating activating system. You can visualize those ears popping up. Because even without technology, we're going to make something called the web next week. It's fun to watch you guys do this. It's going to be fun. You're going to be cutting and pasting. It's fun. So we'll do that next week. So now we'll cut that.
How do I do that?
Just hit the red button.